Okay, everybody, I'm back. Excuse the technical ineptness. But, I was a liberal arts major. What can I say? Very good. Okay, I don't know if you got it, but in the utility room area, I was picking up on a Bob. The gray dog was there. He was in. The guy Bob looked like he was butchering a deer, and he had a flannel coat, jacket type thing, red with the black kind of squares in it, and he was wearing a matching hat, so that was all cool. And there's a woman. Now, some of these people I'm seeing could be the same people in different places, because I'm seeing a woman, clothes look like 50s, early 60s house dress type thing, and she's cooking. It looks like she's taken a tray of cookies out of the oven and showing them to us.
There's a strange heat signature coming from that area right now, by the way.
Oh, now what does that mean? So let me show.
I mean, there's a person. I could go in there to show you what it would look like.
Okay. So it looks like there might be somebody showing up this way. I'll see if you can. Oh, you had the. Yeah, I see. Because it's that same. It's not the full shape like you were, but it's the same color. Yeah. Okay. Well, since I've seen her in there, I'll assume that gives some credibility to what I'm seeing. I'm not going to, so far I don't have anything I can hang a hat on and say, yeah, this is definite proof of what I'm getting is accurate, but it makes me feel pretty good about it. And your stove chimney is tight. You don't get carbon monoxide in here or anything, do you?
No, we're totally electric. The reason the motion detectors are in the kitchen is because we were having some unusual sounds in there, and they were going off. When I walked in the room, I broke their line of sight, so the alarm went off. But they were going off by themselves this morning.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. No, I just wanted to check in. Nothing's on right now anyway, but I just think for...
How are you feeling?
Well, there's certainly a stronger feeling over there. I hate the word heavy or whatever because they're so non-descriptive and people think it means there's something bad or... I don't like all the judgment. It just mean it was a little thicker energy.
More intense?
Thicker. Yeah, maybe a little bit more real, but just you notice it more. It has more of an effect. And you can see, okay, now back there, back where the washer is, or dryer, with that I do see Native American woman. And it looks like she's bent over. I don't know where the spring is on the property, but it looks like there's water running where she is a little bit, at least, and a basket or something. It looks like she's got leaning into this water. Time period, I don't know. But before this would have been developed much. I'm assuming when it was still used mostly as native land. An assumption, but I think a reasonable one. Is there any place else you want to show me that seems... I mean, you've got people hanging out all over the place. But again, like I said, I think sometimes they're the same people. Because there's somebody in that corner. They're not doing anything. They're not communicating. It's not clear who they are, but they're there.
this general area. Into the bedrooms, not so much, but it's just been right in this room, the living room, the kitchen, and that little utility room. We do hear knocking at the other side of the house,
Okay.
which is, it's odd. It's like banging on the side of the house.
Okay. That's interesting. I get that sometimes too at home. And there's nobody around, you know. The voices in the middle of the night. Get up to make sure nobody's having a party in your house without you. Yeah. Well, they are having a party in the middle of your house, but they're not breathing humans. So, you know, so it's okay. Anyway, so those are the huts. Okay. There's a little boy reaching up for the cookies. His name might be Rob. Roy, Rob, something like that. Roy and Rob both kind of came together, so take it for whatever that's worth. It's kind of fun. So some of this is just the imprint of people over the years here. It's not active as far as anything's going to show, I think, but also you've got more that is kind of active.
Okay.
Now, do you ever feel like you're being jumped on or pushed or anything?
Yes, I have been terrified. I'll tell you something that
I'm going to sit down.
it scared me a little bit. I was in the kitchen, and I have a nice leather work chair here. Okay, now I'll focus this over That's fine.
that way.
So the cat has destroyed my chair, so he's not supposed to be in my chair. So I'm in the kitchen, and I see the chair do this. And I went, Kitty. I came in here, and guess what?
No kitty.
No Kitty. Kitty was in the other room.
Okay.
So it wasn't just a little bit. It was like he jumped on me, you know. So I actually had to just kind of leave for a while.
Okay.
I didn't feel comfortable at that point.
Yeah, and it was the child climbing into the chair.
Okay.
Yeah. So next time it happens, nothing to worry about.
It did startle me a little bit.
Yeah, it's understandable. Well, especially when you're not used to things like that happening. It takes a while to think, is this something that's okay or is this not okay? And your floors are solid. There aren't any big drafts in here. I don't notice any drafts. It's not a windy day, but still, I don't see how that could have swung like that just on its own, is the point.
It happened once.
Yeah.
I've been here 7 years.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good indicator that it wouldn't have been. It'd take a lot of wind through those windows too to do anything, so I like it. Okay. Ouch. Let's go back this way. Avon calling.
We can turn
That-
that. We're going to be in here.
That's not a ghost. How do you keep from going into the mental hospital with that?
It's just, I haven't used it in years.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to see if there's anything else in here. Yeah, this is back where the Native American woman is there. She's aware of me, and it's kind of freaking her out. And there's a man with her being protective.
Okay.
And It's okay. We're at a totally different time. We share a space in different times, and we can see each other interact sometimes, but that's it. We can't do anything to you. We don't want to. You can't to us. I mean, we're not using magic. This is all mechanical, made by human hands, that records and shows video. So there's nothing to be threatened about. So please just relax and pretend we're not here. And I think they're relaxing a bit. I hope so.
I don't see the heat signature's gone.
Okay. Nice. When did it leave?
When we walked in here?
Okay. Cool. And this is the other area that has the activity. You can see kind of over where my scarf is bundled up where the dog had been. The little boy gets around a lot in this house. He's in my chair now. Chair's not moving, but...
Are you getting a name or any type?
It's the Bob or...
Okay.
Or Roy, Rob, Bob. No, Bob was the guy over there, but this is... Although I'm getting the name Bob again too. I don't know if it's Bob's son, Bob's father, or if they're related. If there are a couple different nicknames. There's so many things that could be, and sometimes I'm really good with names and sometimes I suck. So, just putting that out there. But it's very, very strongly right in there, that kind of name. Okay. Now, is there anything... Okay, we've hit the areas that you have the activity in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't mind, why don't we sit or whatever, and I'll let you... Well, do we want to sit, or do you want to walk around and point at where you have had anything you haven't talked about?
I'll tell you what, the chances of having something happen are just as good sitting down.
Okay. Sounds good, because I'd like to share with everybody your experiences here, things that we didn't...
So, Shauna, do you want to talk about what happened to Selena and myself the other...
So over that area, I was in the restroom. Selena, my daughter, and Brian were sitting at the table, and they felt me walk into the area, the dining room.
I swear I thought I heard your footsteps across the floor here.
I was in the bathroom, and I came out, and they're like, where were you? Were you just standing here? No, I was in the bathroom the whole time. They actually felt and heard me, assuming it was me because I was the only person in the house, walk in there.
Okay. Excellent.
Poor Selena was so scared. She's like, I gotta get out of here.
This house has a bad reputation for that already.
And what else have you had going on?
We've done ghost box sessions. I've had full sentences come through the ghost box. Like, what the F, Frank? The neighbors are in my house. I've had things where I went through a little stage where I was holding up a certain number of fingers, and I was having a really good hit rate. It was coming up within 10 seconds. I also got to the point where I was writing 3-letter sentences, like big red boat. And as long as I knew what was on the paper, it would come through the ghost box. And I used to make videos and post it, and then the big boat was the big one that I got, because it was just right away. And then I, held up the piece of paper, and there it is. That was the ask.
Uh-huh.
So if I don't know what's on the paper, it doesn't seem to come through, which is kind of something else. So it's kind of a personal connection almost.
I have a friend in another country that's been dealing with a different form.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the kinds of experiments he's been doing with similar results and looking at very different beings, I hope. So, okay.
They were announcing themselves as demon.
As what?
Demon.
Oh, you might not be as different than as I thought.
I have hundreds of videos on it, actually.
I don't think there's anything, well, one, I don't believe in demons as such. I haven't seen any indication of them other than human-developed religion.
I just know what the ghost box.
Right. But I think somebody was playing with you, trying to scare you a little bit. It feels almost adolescent.
Yeah.
In that. It's interesting, though. What else?
Just moving objects. I had a television. I had a friend who was going through some trouble, and he was being evicted.
Mm-hmm.
He was selling some stuff, so I went over there to see if I can kind of help him. He's a little nice, so I bought a mirror, and I brought the mirror home, and I don't know if there was some sort of a mojo maybe attached to it, or this was all a coincidence.
Uh-huh.
But I was sleeping on the couch, fell asleep on the couch, and the TV turned on. Okay, never happens. And then it happened again after I turned it off. So then I get my cameras, and so I'm filming this. And the TV, the light would first come on before you'd see an image,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just sort of popping on, and it's kind of static. When that happened, I recorded I heard a voice. I captured it on audio, and I'm not a real big fan of this, but it sounded like just garbage or some sort of a different language. I was playing with the audio, and I just said, I saw it, and just click reverse. And it was a full sentence in English. It was, protect him, see us enter him. And that was a little bit alarming to me. And I do have that on YouTube also. Let me see, gosh, there's been so much. Can you think of anything else that I've just been mortified with? That was one. I had some unusual poltergeist activity. I had a period where my kitchen cupboards were slamming.
Oh.
And then I thought maybe I have rats. And it was the bottom, then the real chronic one was under the sink. That's logical. If you're going to have rats, that'd probably be one of them that they'd be in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I made sure it was airtight. And it got so bad that I started filming it. I had a camera there all night. It would never happen. So I got up in the morning, and one morning, and the cupboard was still closed. I turned the camera off. This is getting old. Went and took a shower. By the time I came back, it was open. Okay. So playing with me. So I just kind of learned to live with that.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and rats couldn't slam. I mean, they'd open the door, but you wouldn't, unless those are on springs, that wouldn't slam shut.
So that's been another thing. I've had my bedroom light turned on and off.
Okay. On the switch?
Yeah, I was sleeping, and I heard the click, and then it was a blinding light. There's no one in there. So, there could be a mechanical explanation. It could have been a little bit odd.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went through a period where I was having what I thought was almost sleep paralysis. And this wasn't at this house. This was at Evening Star. But I would be wakened in the middle of the night by the sound of someone running from the farm down the hall and then down the stairs.
Okay.
I'd go there. I would look through every closet, under every bed, check every lock. It was completely locked down. There's nobody in the house. It all kind of came to a head one night when I have two daughters. They had visitation schedules.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it ended, actually. My youngest used to crawl into bed with me. And I was trying to break her of this, I would just sit her down and tell her a story, take her back to her bed and tuck her in.
Mm-hmm.
And she was happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I am sleeping, and I hear my door, slide open, and I hear the little footsteps on the carpet. I'm like, oh, so I thought she was coming into my bedroom again. Well, then she stands right next to me. And I've told her before, don't do that, because that scares me.
Right.
When I wake up and you're right there, okay, anyway. So I can hear her breathing, and I'm trying to move, and I can't move. And then her breathing was getting a little bit raspier. And then I started to almost panic because I couldn't move. And then I realized that I don't have my daughters that night. I think I fainted. Because that was it. I woke up in the morning.
Wow.
And my door was open. It was just, I just can't explain it.
And sleep paralysis would make sense with that because you're shocked or scared, awake the brain, but the body isn't woken up yet, so you can't do anything. And you can't move.
That's right.
I've had it happen once, and it's something that it was a paranormal event that created the experience that caused it, but sleep paralysis itself isn't paranormal. Mm-hmm. It's just, it can happen to anybody. But a paranormal event can certainly create the thing that wakes you up. I've had that happen once. Just once. And yeah, it's not fun.
No, it can be downright terrifying.
Yeah. Well, especially when you think there's actually somebody in the house standing next to your bed.
And you realize it's not your daughter.
Yeah. In my case, it was when I was sleeping, and I was dreaming there was this big, dark, shadowy figure had come in and was closer and closer to the side of my bed, and then leaning over the bed right towards me. And that woke me up, and there was a big, dark, shadowy figure leaning over my bed right towards me. And I thought somebody had broken into the house. I mean, I got scared because I thought it was a living person, although it was just a black figure and no face, and they couldn't have gotten to the area they were in, next to the bed. And, there were a few things. So I gave him a little bit of a talking to about, look, you want to visit? You have something to ask me or say? Great. Don't be so dramatic and come when I'm awake. And, but I was so shaken I got up and checked the house. Because even after I figured out, no, this couldn't have been a person. It was so real, I needed to check and make sure the house was clear. So I get it.
I can relate.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, this is fascinating. Now, is there anything else that you can think of?
Just lost objects that reappear.
Okay.
It was kind of odd. I forgot what I lost. Oh, I lost my expensive recorder.
Uh-oh.
My DR60.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of money.
Uh-huh.
I lost it, and I I just don't lose that. It's not something I just put down in odd spots. I have a special case for it.
Uh-huh.
It was just gone. And I actually did a ghost box session and asked for help.
Okay.
No kidding. And it told me it's in your closet. And it was.
And you see, this is one of the things that's really amazing to me. I haven't found ghost boxes to be that often doing that well.
Yeah.
I don't consider them much because sometimes they seem to be accurate, but how much of it is coincidence? And I'm going to just do a quick shout out. Tim Misley is watching. We grew up together. He's 2 years younger. He was my sister's class. His mom used to babysit us sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And he knows about haunted houses. He lived next to a pretty scary haunted house. And from what I've been hearing, the one he grew up in mostly is pretty haunted. So that's what the current family members in the house have talked about in the past. So I just want to give a shout out to Tim. Anything else in particular?
Oh, just the random bangs. The bangs that come at all hours of the night. Sometimes they'll wake me up.
Okay.
And it could be somebody. It could be a bad neighbor messing with people.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a security system all around my house. So
Right.
they would have to know where to walk to not be picked up, and I've never picked anyone up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Cool. Well, I want to thank you, Mr. Anonymous, for and Ms. Anonymous Helper, for allowing me to come in and do this. I've wanted to come here for a while.
Well, we really appreciate it, William.
And I will say I don't think there's anything bad or nasty or evil or anything else here. There's some stuff that's playful, some stuff that just goes through motions, and some that doesn't even know you're here. It's just a picture on the wall type of a thing. So I don't think there's anything scary, which helps.
That helps me.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's not evil, right?
I sure have seen enough of it, though.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, evil's such a loaded word, that there are people who are not very nice. There are people that seem to be pure evil. I can think of a few people in history that seem to almost have been inhuman with the horrors that they did. But it's just part of the gamut of human experience, I guess, of how we can develop and what forms us and shapes us and all the rest of it. It's, in my opinion, not this spirit that comes in and wreaks havoc on us. So, in my opinion. So, great. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for everybody who was watching. I really appreciate it. And there will be more of these at some other time, now that I'm learning how to do this better, I think. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.